pals and non-binary pals. Welcome to episode. Hi, how's it going? So welcome to episode 7. We are talking about the newest season, which is season 7. On screen right now, you guys are actually going to be able to see my live streams. Side note, I'm live streaming now, so hi, how's it going?
Smash that subscribe button.
Yeah, just smash that subscribe button or whatever. For the live stream itself,
Just look in the comments.
I'm live streaming on Twitch. I'm also using
Don't forget to hit the bell.
So hit us up. The description or my Twitch link is actually down in the doobly-doo. As well as I'll put our Discord link down in the doobly-doo because that's an old internet reference. But yeah, so we've got a lot of topics to talk about today, but let's talk about the main one. Where have we been for the almost 2 months? So
it was all Aaron's fault.
Yeah, it's 100% Aaron's fault. 100% Aaron's fault. So basically the TLDR of where we've been, my computer messed up. To which we had to get a new one, and then that new one kept crashing Rivals, which is not very great, and also kept crashing a bunch of other stuff. So that was a month spent just fixing that. We did actually record a few stuff in the midst of that, hoping to actually get it out, but either OBS was messing up or the editing software was messing up. I had to get a whole new set of everything. That was a humongous pain in the ass. And then hilariously, like 3 days after I got the computer fixed, my pancreas decided to try to kill me. So that was a whole other can of worms that then we had to fix, but everything is good now. New computer, so now we're actually streaming, which is great. I figured out OBS, which is great. And I figured out editing software because obviously you're watching this, which is awesome. Anyway, what did we miss whilst we were gone? Elsa Bloodstone dropped. She's pretty fucking good. Dave was maining her for a bit, and then a spider came calling. While you were maining her, Dave, you did like her though, yeah?
Yeah, she was fun. Her kit's really fun. She deals a crazy amount of damage, and her ult, oh my god, her ult was so much fun. I love pulling people out of Luna ults and then killing them all.
Oh yeah, because it just passes right through the Luna because Luna's CC immune. So yeah, yup.
Yep.
Elsa Bloodstone is extremely cool and decently strong. Her ultimate is kind of revolutionary because it's the only real it's a Squirrel Girl ult, but with teeth. Literally.
And it pushes you instead of just kills you. Especially if there's an edge, you just push them right off the edge.
Yep, it's great. It's like a better Jeff ult. It's kind of crazy. But you guys aren't actually here for that because hopefully my plan is to release it on Friday, which is the actual day that Season 7 is releasing. And with Season 7, we get the brand new strategist, White Fox. Brendan, kindly tell the people who White Fox is because let's get real, we don't really know.
Wait. Is she by chance in Future Fight?
Yes.
Say the line.
Obligatory reference to Marvel Future Fight number 732.
Yay!
But yeah, she is in Marvel Future Fight. She was I believe she was a character that did exist in the comics for a while under a different alias, and she got brought back for something, or there were other characters that used the name White Fox. I don't 100% remember. But for the sake of clarity, currently in the comics, she is a member of a Asian American superhero team called the Agents of Atlas, who include Luna Snow and Iron Fist, aka Swordmaster, aka Lindley.
Brandon, do you actually know her real name, or is it just obviously it's not just White Fox, but
no, it's not just White Fox. Admittedly, I don't remember it. I don't.
Oh my god, Brendan, how could you do this?
It's Amihan or Amihan. I'm not sure how it's pronounced.
There he goes.
Hey, am I?
I knew you could do it.
All right, so White Fox, when she debuted in Future Fight, and I'm hoping that that's not a foreboding of how she's going to be in this game. When White Fox debuted in Future Fight, she was the ultimate support character. She's a character that existed to where her base kit wasn't too crazy, but because of her specific abilities, when you added her to specific teams, the damage on the teams jacked up astronomically. To the point where you needed her to clear some high-level content because of the bonus that she gave people. She made it for a point that for a little while, she was literally one of the best support characters in the game. One of the best characters to have as a secondary character on a team.
Well, At time of recording, the early access is live. Obviously, we don't have a Steam key because we're not cool enough yet. But I have been watching a few of the other streamers, whatever. She does seem pretty balanced. Is the wrong word because
Unbalanced?
well, no, she's balanced in the sense of like what she does is perfect for what she's doing. However, it can definitely skew towards being really strong if you're good mechanically with her. And once people actually start fully understanding what she can actually do, I have a distinct feeling she's going to kind of slowly start running lobbies. Especially considering that Invisible Woman is kind of out, spoiler alert, until they fix a thing. But mentioning once again the Twitch stream, which by the way is down the link inside the description, myself, Dave, our friend Corey, and Brendan, we're all off on Friday. The time, once again, this video actually shows up, so watch this to the end. Then jump over to Twitch, and I'm probably going to be live. I'm going to probably convince Dave to be live as well. And yeah,
Maybe.
Maybe as a treat, just kind of watch us because we're going to be fumbling around with the new character, just to see kind of what she does and stuff. But one of the main things I want to talk about 100% right now is the nerf to the ultimates. So during the actual dev vlog or vision itself, the devs basically kind of told us straight up, hey, the game needs to slow down a tick because of the fact that all the ults kind of come up super fast, and not just like Moon Knight and like, Squirrel Girl and the people that you expect. Like everyone's ultimates are kind of just being spammed, and they wanted to make that stop. So what they basically did was across the entire board, I actually wrote everything down. So like across the entire board, throughout all the characters, it's a rough 20% for everybody ultimate charge nerf. Going a little bit more into detail, DPS and tanks get less for dealing damage and slightly more, but still less than now for standing around. Which is basically means that, like, if you're playing a Black Panther or a Magic and you need to find, or a Spider-Man, and you need to find a way to get in, you're still earning ult charge a little bit faster than, let's say, someone like a healer. To which case, speaking of healers get slightly more, but still less than now, ult charge for actually doing their jobs, like, healing people, dealing damage, stuff like that. However, they also get less for just standing around. The reason why they did this is it's designed as a it's designed as a way of fixing triple support. Because one of the downsides of triple support is the factor that it wasn't so much the healing that the supports actually put out, it's the fact that they can just stack ultimates on top of each other, and there's nothing you can do. Like, we've all been in situations where, like, a Luna Snow will pop her ult, and then Loki's going to cop the Luna Snow, and then he's going to pop his ult. And then on top of that, you then drop the Invisible Woman ult. And then by all of that being done, the Luna still originally has her ult again. By doing this massive ult nerf to everybody, that shouldn't happen again. And by watching the streamers that are on early access, it isn't, which is kind of nice.
Okay. Across the board, everybody slow your roll.
Basically.
I like it. I've heard too many the moon haunts you. I've heard too many agains. I've heard too many us against the world.
Especially us against
I've
the
heard
world.
too many. It's not spider time. I don't care about spider time. It's too many spider times. There's not enough time zones in the world for spider time.
They did also mention, I'll get Brendan and Dave's opinions as well, but they did also mention as well that the reason that they decided to do this as opposed to just like, nerfing more healers, or the community has been given suggestions. One of the suggestions is, hey, have a penalty for having 3 healers or whatever. Or, hey, make it this where only 2-2-2. Or, like, just keep nerfing healers to the ground. They mentioned straight up in the dev vision the factor of we don't want to get rid of triple support because we want it still as an option. Because it is still a cool option as a strategy. We're just trying to make it this way it's not the only strategy.
I think if anything, it'll make the games last longer because I feel like right now the games just go too fast.
And that's coming from a Spider-Man player.
Yeah.
I'm completely fine with it. Like, honestly, it's one of those things where since the game's inception, Marvel Rivals has been dominated by support ults.
Yeah.
How each team used their support ults basically determined how the game was going to end, or whether the one team was going to win over the other. And that's just how the game's always been. And then even when characters got tweaked or nerfed or buffed, that all ends up being the same thing. Gambit kind of redefined it because of how crazy his ult was, and then because triple support became more rampant, it just turned into now we don't have to figure out whose support ult is popping off of what. We just need to wait till they use both of theirs and use our third. And that's basically all that ended up happening. So basically slowing everything down, not only by slowing down people's natural ult charge, but even slowing down ults that give ult charge. I think it's genuinely going to make everything a lot more streamlined in the long run.
And that's also one thing that the devs mention as well. So like I'm gonna say it straight up. I'm going to be glazing the devs quite a bit in this entire episode, mainly because I come from Overwatch, where they basically told us to basically go fuck ourselves, just get good. I come from Smite, which is high res, which is also very much like a, hey, we're going to keep our reasonings close to the chest, and we're going to give you a very shitty reasoning for why we did something, but your character's no longer playable now. You know, I come from games like those, where the devs were not nearly as nice, versus these devs are very much just like a, hey guys, we see there's a problem. We're going to take our time to find the correct solution, not just use a band-aid. And it's fucking nice. To that end, it's one of those things where it's just like, you know, every reason that kind of Brendan mentioned, the devs brought up in the fucking their dev vision. They actually told us straight up like, hey, like, you know, the games feel very stagnant because, like, you know, it's always just like a tug of war, but it's never really like a solution to it. You're always just kind of sitting in the same spot, just fighting forever.
Well, this afternoon, I played Cloak and Dagger on quite a few comp matches where there were several times where the whole team did not push until I had my ult and used it.
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't be the crutch of the fucking game.
Yeah, it should be something designed as, and that's one thing that once again they mentioned, the fact of like, you know, it should be just a tool in your tool belt, not the thing that makes you actually be able to move.
Yeah, it's great when it comes in clutch in overtime. We're first and goal on the 1 yard line, and it's overtime. We got to push. It's great when it comes in clutch. It shouldn't be the normal, hey, it's time to move because we have our ult.
Exactly. Which, to that end, by the way, I want to mention, this is just one of those things that everyone that's hearing my voice, please be patient with your teammates for at least a week after this patch goes live.
Oh, yeah.
Because people, I'm going to just straight up say it. My entire Discord, maybe except for like 2 people, we all have extremely bad habits because we've gotten used to being immortal or having, like, you know, the support just run up with you or some crap like that, whatever. Or we've all gotten used to the crutch that is support ults. It's going to take a second to wean us off of, oh, we can just fucking die here. So be patient with your teammates. Try not to flame as much as you possibly can. Moreover, be extremely patient with your healers, because I'm going to tell you straight up, it's going to take a second for me to figure out how to actually play the game again.
No, Aaron, just get good.
Listen here, you Spider-Man player.
GG no heals.
Yeah, pretty much.
If I see a single fucking GG no heals, I am reporting that person. I swear to God. But no, obviously, like, you know, the 20% actual nerf across the board, we'll have to actually test that fully once we actually get into it. Once again, we'll be testing it as you are watching this video, so definitely switch over to the Twitch. Speaking of the devs actually hearing us and talking to us and stuff, they gave us the actual stats up on screen currently of the win rate and the pick rate of the different strategies. So, like, you know, 2-2-2 or like 2-1-3 or something like that, whatever. And I can tell you point blank period, 2-2-2 is the dominant winner when it comes to the actual,
like far away by a country mile, or is it holy macaroni?
Yeah. So
well,
just
okay. Oh no, I looked at the use rate.
Well, yeah, but even so,
the win rate's a lot tighter than I thought it was going to be. But
it's a lot tighter, but at the same time, so once again, up on screen or whatever, you guys can also see the exact same image that we're all looking at. Obviously, pretty much everyone inside of the server, aside for maybe like 4 people, are under the all ranks category, not the Celestial and above bit. So mostly I'll just be talking about that. I will also add some little bit more clarity to these actual numbers themselves because he also mentioned in the dev vision it's calculated out based on like a 10-minute margin. So he basically said, like, give the example of if you had a 10-minute game and for 6 minutes you were running 222, that basically counts as 0.06 of the actual
Right.
game
Okay.
itself. And then if you
10-minute average.
yeah, and then if you switched over to like the 213 for 4 minutes, and that then is like 0.04 of the actual game itself. If you win the game, both of those comps are classified as you won, and that's why the numbers look the way the numbers are looking. So it's one of those things where it's like, the reason why the use rate for 222 is so high is because most people start off, even we do it.
It's the
Like,
standard.
we start off with 222, and then we'll have like a team fight or two, see how the things are going, and we'll decide, okay, how are we switching, how are we moving, how are we doing this, how are we doing that. I will say, and this is kind of in Brendan's defense, one Vanguard seems to be the best win strat outside of 222, which I'm not okay with, but
It has been tried and true. I know. But as someone look, I'm with you, Brendan. I have also solo tanked a lot more times than I can remember because I'm trying to Lord Magneto, so I'm cool with it. But I'm also trying to Lord Venom, so I'm not cool with it.
yeah.
But it's fine if your solo tank is someone you can rely on, like a Thing, like a Magneto. Like if your solo tank is Venom, Hulk, or Cap, your team has issues that
Yeah.
no one's willing to address.
And also, too, obviously, you can see the other portion of it. So, in the other category, he didn't actually say this. It's kind of just implied. Like, that's when we're running, like, 6 healers. That's when we're running, like, like Gator or
Oops,
something
all
like that.
tanks.
Yeah, like, we're running Gator or something crazy like that. Whatever. Like, obviously, the use rate is going to be very, very low because we're just trolling.
Actually, what's crazy is the use rate is higher than 312.
Because 312 theoretically makes sense, but Wolverine exists. Fucking Iron Fist exists. Like, my main thing is that I just like that they gave us this because, once again, just addressing the elephant in the room, they're basically like, hey, you guys are claiming. Also, too, a lot of this is, or at least this specific thing, is because there are a lot of like third-party sites. Like the streamers will reference, Danny will reference, and Reddit will reference, and it's like, oh, well, like, this third-party site is like, logged into my data, and it's looking at this, and this is what I played, and yada yada yada. And as I trust those third-party sites with a grain of salt because they're not the people who create the game. They don't actually have all the data. They just theorize all the data by what everyone else is doing technically. I like that they actually just gave us the data straight up. They're like, hey, like, these third-party sites are claiming that it's this. Here's the raw data from us. Trust this more than anything else.
The proof is in the pudding.
Exactly. Like, and I like that, he came in and he brought fucking receipts. And man just kind of came out and saying, like, hey, we messed up. Here's how we're going to fix it. And here's all of the receipts to get rid of any comments or any compliments or anyone complaining about X, Y, and Z or triple supports running rampant throughout everywhere. Clearly it's not. Like, barely 10%. That's not rampant. I don't know. Comparatively.
Well, to be fair, this is what? These are comp ranks, right?
That is also true. This is all comp. So that.
To a certain extent, it is a reflection of
Quick play, yeah.
the ratios in casual, but
yeah, it's not exactsies, but at the same time, I'm fine with it not being exactsies because a good portion of the player base is actually like, trying and the objective is to win. They're going to play comp. And I feel like getting the numbers from comp is better than getting it from quick play because, let's get real, there are a ton of throwers in quick play. There's a ton of times where even will just be like, it's a throw game? Yeah, it's probably a throw game. Alright, cool. So we'll just switch the characters we don't fucking play. Like, so, like, getting data from that, it's going to muddy the water. And I'm glad that they decided just to not get the data from that, honestly. So, yeah, I like the chart. Chart's great. W for chart. Next on the list, he actually talked about the buffs and nerfs. So, on screen, I was going to put Brendan's awesome picture taking of what was getting technically nerfed, what was getting technically buffed by what he was actually mentioning. However, in the midst of us actually just recording, they dropped the patch notes, which is fucking sick. And I wrote everything down, which is kind of great. So I'm going to kind of just, I'm not going to mention every single character. I'm just going to mention the highlight ones that seem like they're going to matter the most. My favorite character of all of fiction, the Incredible Hulk. So they changed Hulk's, though they didn't really change very much. They just buffed two things, which is kind of important, and they're changing one other thing later down the line. So the main thing that actually changed is that his bubble now gives him even more ult charge whenever you actually deal damage to it. Fun fact, his bubble naturally will just like give it's a conversion rate of like 100% damage that he's actually taking into the bubble is then put to his ultimate to then charge it faster. Now it's going to be 130%, so it's going to be kind of crazy. As well as they gave him 2 charges on his actual thunderclap, which is
huge.
because based on the change they made like 2 patches ago, the clap, whenever you actually hit someone with that damage, it reduces the cooldown on the bubble. The other change that's an incidental change is going to really affect him. Is the factor that they mentioned that they're going to work on crowd control.
So you remember how last patch when they updated Hulk's ult to make it so that he can't make it so that he's unmovable, and I basically told you that that's not a buff and it was basically superfluous. This shit right here, now this is a fucking buff. This is the shit that I was fucking talking about. This is what we need. The clap reducing the cooldown is cool and all. Giving it an extra charge means now I have an extra opportunity to reduce that cooldown in a team fight. You're all jumping me? Cool. Clap once, clap twice. Bubbles back. Does it make Hulk perfect? No, but it's that little boost, just that little thing that he needed to make him that much better, and that running in tandem with to be spoken about soon. It's gonna be fun. It's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing how much further I can push him after the fact.
Emma Frost got nerfed. A lot of the big name streamers and YouTube creators, they all kind of said the same thing of why are we touching Emma Frost still? I'm on the fence. I feel like she was fine, but apparently not.
Yeah, I was also a little bit confused. Like, she was never a problem before.
Yeah, well, they nerfed her before, and then she kind of just like, she went away. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, you're good. And then just out of nowhere, it's just like, you've gotten a kill. From where? Guam. What the fuck's in Guam? Emma Frost. Why? Like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, why are we targeting her? Basically what they did is she takes slightly more damage while in diamond form, which is her main way of like, scrapping. However, they did give her damage reduction while she's using her ultimate, so you can't burst her down as quickly while she's in her ultimate. But I feel like the ult only comes up like once every in a while, and that's before the ult nerf. So her not taking more damage in diamond form, that's kind of shitty.
Is it a little annoying? Yeah, but they definitely could have done way, way worse to her.
But do we think she needs to be actually touched to begin with?
I mean, she's still, even after the first nerf she got, she's still one of the best tanks in the game. So I don't really, in a sense of maybe trying to bring her down to match up with the other quote unquote solo tanks that the game has, I guess, fine. But even then, like, it's not, I don't know.
Let's go over to DPS really quickly. Blade got buffed. And this actually is serious. They seriously increased the shotgun bullet speed, not the firing rate of the gun itself. So the bullets are just going to move from point A to point B a lot faster. His sword now hits from a little bit further away. 0.5 meters doesn't seem like a lot. It will be when you're trying to run for your life. The Bloodline Awakening, his lifesteal ability, now gives over health. So if you're already at full health or whatever, it now just keeps going. Up to 75 additional overhealth, if I remember correctly. Overhealth on any character is kind of busted. Side note, nowhere in the past did it say that goes away. Yeah, have fun with that. And his ultimate also gives lifesteal, which is also kind of crazy, as well as making the healing reduction, he's doubling it. So originally it was 20% healing reduction, now it's going to be 40% healing reduction.
Honestly, I can't wait to see what the buff does for him. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to be able to solo at least 3 people.
Looking at the Twitch streamers, can confirm. The blade kind of just dropped in on like 4 people. Man walked out of it.
One person walked away.
Look, it.
I finally have to get back on Blade.
It was a sight to behold. I'll tell you what. Also, too, something I didn't actually put into. Oh no, I did put it in here in the TLDR patch notes. They also increased the amount of healing he gets from his lifesteal.
Oh,
So
thank God.
yeah,
This
Yeah.
is gonna go crazy.
Dave, it's almost 50% now. I think it's like 48 or
So, like-
45% of his
Yeah,
life steal
it's
gets
gonna be-
converted or whatever it is. Iron Man got buffed. This is actually pretty dangerous.
This is bad.
This
We
this
need
one
to look up.
I
We need to look up before. We need to look up now.
I even put inside the TLDR patch. I was like, yeah, he's gonna be a problem because he's gonna be a fucking problem. They gave him the faster animation when it comes to going into overdrive mode. That's just a quality of life change. If nothing else, it's fine. What isn't fine is whenever he gets a kill or assist, technically, because that's how the game works. On an enemy while he's in overdrive, it adds 2 additional seconds on the timer of overdrive. Overdrive naturally right now lasts, I think, like 6 seconds, 8 seconds, around there-ish.
It does.
Um,
It does.
So by just getting additional 2 seconds, theoretically, you could have overdrive at the start of the fight and keep it the entire fight if everything goes well. That's
Well, I mean, Aaron, this is a good thing for you, isn't it? You said you wanted to play Iron Man more.
yeah, you're not wrong. The downside is I'm also playing Jeff. You want to know what's
He's-
bad into
he's
Jeff?
But at what cost?
Like Iron Man into Jeff, Iron Man typically wins that, so this is gonna hurt a lot. Daredevil, he got nerfed.
Let's go.
There's the applause.
However, it's not as strong of a hit that we would have wanted, but it's a good start. Basically, his Devil's Chain, the little whip slam thingy he does, is going to deal less damage. It's going to give him slightly less overhealth. He's also deals less damage to enemies that he targets with his little like Sonic Mark thingy. Because originally he was dealing 20% damage to the targeted marked person. Now he's only deals like 10% damage additional on top of it.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's huge, but at the same time, once again, biased. I feel like they definitely should have hit him considerably harder because of the factor of how crazy he is. Like, I don't want to say full blown, like, just like literally bury him in the backyard. But at the same time, I feel like if you hit him so hard that he's basically unplayable, you can slowly build him back up, in my personal opinion. But I'm also talking from a Loki player who had to do the exact same fucking thing. So I don't know.
Right,
that
but
might be my own personal.
This could be them doing that the other way around.
Yeah.
They're gonna throw it in the backyard over time.
Sure. I don't know. That's I don't know. I mentioned it specifically for Janice because I know that she watches our podcast. Hi, Janice.
Oh yeah. I wanted to ask you about the Hawkeye thing. Is that? Am I reading that right?
You are reading this
Didn't
correctly.
Didn't they bring him down to 225?
No.
Last match?
So Hawkeye's health has always been like 275. The thing is the fact that Hela, Phoenix, Widow, they've all at 250 health anyway. I don't know. I feel like with playing with the actual damage reduction, I feel like it's fine. This hit kind of just came out of nowhere. Like, man's getting stray shots, pun intended.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but here we are. Elsa Bloodstone also got hit. So she has these stacks that whenever she gets a kill or whatever, she actually gains a stack into her own passive, which makes it she does more damage. Whenever she dies, she lost 1 stack. Now she's losing 2 of those stacks. So basically, with Elsa, she got 3 kills. She get full powered. Now when she dies, she has to get 2 more kills to go back up to full powered. Theoretically, it's fine. It's a nerf. We'll see how it works. She also gets slightly less overshield when she uses her Helix attacks, that knockback ability, I think. Elsa's definitely one of those things where it's just like, hey, you probably could have hit her significantly harder, but at the same time, she's brand new. I don't subscribe to nerfing to the ground brand new characters just because it sets a bad precedent of, like, we can't have anything nice if people complain. And I don't like that. So I kind of agree with this whole, like, hey, we're gonna just love tap as a warning, but we are watching her, which is kind of great. Not great is the supports. Gambit, his ultimate is finally being touched. They have reduced the actual movement speed that he gives people with his ultimates, as well as the ult charge that they get with it. And like I said, and moreover, they're nerfing the correct thing. Basically every other
Yeah,
patch,
his ultimate.
they've only ever nerfed the Gambit, and we're all just like, hey, the Gambit is fine. Nerf the Gambit's ultimate. That's the problem. So we'll see how it actually works. This effectively is also a double nerf because of the ult changes. He's getting his ult less anyway. I don't know. Hopefully the Gambit will actually be good this time around and like not as crazy. On the other side or whatever, and I'm getting Loki flashbacks. Invisible Woman's being nerfed again.
I saw that. Explain to me the shield thingy.
Oh god, do I have to?
It's the seconds. I never thought about the seconds.
Yeah. So originally, let's talk about the good first, and we'll talk about the bad. The good news is while she's invisible, she gains back more health over time, which is really really great. The downside is obviously you're invisible, which means you can't attack and heal your teammates. The upside is you gain back more faster, so theoretically you don't need to be invisible for longer. It's a whole thing. Now let's talk about the bad.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, now let's talk about the bad thing. So her Guardian Shield is the actual shield and stuff that actually gets put on, like, usually flyers or swinging past Spider-Man or, like, the Groot. Originally, the way that it worked is you gave whoever is behind it 25 health every second, basically, basically infinitely.
Oh God, oh God. The way you had it typed out, I thought it said it lasted 20. It was going to last for 25 seconds. Now it lasting 15 seconds.
Oh no, that'll
that's
be way
that's
too...
the way you typed it out. That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
Oh God, that is bad.
That's extremely bad because now it's going from 25 seconds, or 25 healing every second to
like
now 15 healing every second.
It's just like the dagger nerf for the healing shield, the healing bubble.
Yeah, it's like the dagger nerf. It's like the Loki lamp nerf. It's like the Loki clone nerf. The other Loki clone nerf. The other Loki the other Loki lamp like nerf. It's. I'm not saying this kills Invis. However, this basically
what
makes.
you are saying is you hate how they kill Loki.
I'm saying the factor in which case that like this didn't need to happen because the shield is the one main way that Invis is able to heal a big target like a Groot, like a Magneto, like a Doctor Strange or whatever. Like, that was
like a her.
Well, I mean, they've already nerfed her self shield, which is fine. Because that makes sense because they give her the whole, hey, go invisible, that's how you're supposed to heal yourself. That's fine. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is the fact is once again, Dave plays a lot of Spider-Man. And this is, even if it's not Dave playing Spider-Man, if it's just us Spider-Man or Flyer. Like, that's the way I would throw up my shield. Like, there's a Stormer. Oh, we've got, like, a Johnny or something. That's the Spider-Man. Hey,
tough to target.
Yeah.
It's what Luna Snowflake was designed for.
We're gonna talk
they
about
knew Iron Man was going to go fuck off 3 counties over.
Yeah. And, like, the Iron Man or whatever, hey, he took a little bit too much poke or whatever. Like, he's in the bad shape. I'm going to throw up the shield or whatever, heal him, and I can focus on other things or whatever. Hey, just stand behind the shield, you'll be fine in a second. Do it like that. Now, this shield basically heals for nothing. 15 healing a second is genuinely nothing.
It's horrible.
And worst off, the shield has a health bar, which means it can break. Like, one of the main things I love to do is, like, okay... Like, Spidey's swinging past or whatever. Hey, I'm going to track you as you're going to pass whatever. Basically, keep pushing the button for the shield. You're going to constantly keep getting a small little boost. You've just gotten roughly, like, 100 health back or whatever. You can keep swinging, and you're good to go. Now, man's going to have to literally, like, swing, stand next to me or whatever, order a latte, wait for the latte to come with the Uber Eats, decide the fact that, hey, he wants something else, order another thing, wait for that to come with Uber Eats, then he can swing off and go and kill someone. It's like, what are we doing? Like, generally, what are we doing? Brendan.
I don't...
Because you're going to be the one affected with this most because you're our tank player, which means I can't... If you can't play Groot if I'm playing in this. Or vice versa. Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, the self-shield was one thing. Getting a little out of hand, getting a little too indestructible, fine. Why are we nerfing the shield as being used to heal other people? At least to this degree. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand it.
Like it's
It's just these. We have a lot of algebra questions. In which case, all those questions end in solve for y.
it's
Like
it's
no, genuinely, like the self shield was one thing.
yeah.
That was something that genuinely needed to be dealt with because it was turning Invisible Woman into a fucking demon.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we're nerfing a part of her kit that allows her
To help
to
people.
heal people easier. Like I don't. Like, get me not wrong. Her base healing is already very, very strong. Her base healing is very, very strong.
But the base healing
But
itself, it needs to hit its targets and it has to wait for the ricochet to come back before it actually can throw it out again.
Right, it's running in tandem with the shields.
Exactly.
Without that tandem, it's turning. Oof.
Going back to the Loki flashbacks portion of it, like, one of the Loki nerfs was, hey, we're making his, like, Loki lamps or whatever, the strongest way he's healing in his entire kit, we're making it like 20 seconds or some shit like that, whatever. And I was like, great, now I lose that as an actual heal factor. I can only use it in emergencies. Oh, hey, Loki's back up in the meta again. Hey, we're going to nerf the clones that send out healing, we're going to nerf their healing and also their damage. I'm like, okay, the damage was the problem, but sure, nerf that, I guess. Hey, we're going to nerf Loki's personal staff damage. Hey, we're going to take away 2 shots so this way Loki has to shoot less and reload more. Like, it's...
And you're just going stop.
I'm just going stop because it's like
he's already
it's
dead.
like stop. My objective is to help my team. My objective is to heal my team. Why are you taking away the ability for me to do my job? Like, what are we doing? Contrary, and the thing is, I wouldn't be nearly as angry about the Invis changes if Luna Snow's bitch ass wasn't on this fucking patch as well. Luna Snow got buffed in the sense that now, with her Snowflake, when she puts it on someone or herself, if that someone gets a kill, or technically an assist or whatever, helps with a kill, Luna Snow's clap, which is basically her main way of healing, well, not the main way, but her best way of healing the entire team because it pierces through people and it heals for a fuck ton, it goes on a 2-second cooldown for every person that the Snowflake person killed. Luna Snow's got a massive fucking buff. She can do her job fucking better, but Invis gets thrown out to the back. For what? Yeah, fuck Luna Snow. She's not even a bad fucking healer. Why are we buffing an already good fucking healer? Like,
There was a point where she was the best healer in the game, and now
she was still getting buffed, even when she was S tier. And I was like, son, the ranking only goes up to S. We can make an S plus if you want. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But that's some of the buffs versus nerfs. Next topic is crowd control. So, he mentioned it by name, crowd control. Crowd control is a problem in this game because crowd control is a problem in every game. Crowd control, for those of you who actually don't know, it's also known like CC. It's when Scarlet Witch uses her little bubble and actually stuns you for a second. When Squirrel Girl stuns you with the stupid acorns or whatever. Like, when Luna Snow freezes you, Mantis sleeps you. That's all classified as under crowd control. Basically, it's the act of not being able to use your character for X reason. Basically, they mention in which case the fact that yes, it's a problem. However, because the characters in this game are really mobile and able to, like most of us have like a fly or a stun or like a speed boost or jump crazy or something of that sense or whatever. They can't nerf crowd control to how the community wants it, i.e. taking it out of the game. So what they're going to do is basically the same thing that Smite did a long time ago. Starting season 7.5, because they have to do a lot of testing in order to make it correct and make it work. Every time you get additional crowd control on top of what you've already gotten hit with, it'll stack for less. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to implement it. I can just tell you what I know from Smite, which also has a fuck ton of crowd control, is the factor of, at least what Hi-Rez did, which is, let's say that you have, Luna Snow, Mantis, and Squirrel Girl. With the newer updates, theoretically, Luna Snow is going to stun you with her snowball or whatever. Let's say the stun lasts for 2 seconds. And then, if Mantis were to try to sleep you, normally that would also last for 2 seconds, except now it only lasts for a second because you're already technically frozen. And then Squirrel Girl hits you with a Squirrel Blockade, which also will last for 2 seconds technically, but now it only lasts for an additional, half a second. It's one of those diminishing return situations, is basically what I'm explaining. That's how, theoretically, they're going to fix crowd control in the game. Brendan, tell me about tank players and how you guys hate crowd control.
First of all, everyone and their mother hates crowd control. Don't just drag me into this. However, with that being said, crowd control has always been a problem for tanks, especially just because naturally we have a lot less movement speed than everybody else. So once you get hit with something and you just get stopped, there's nothing you can do, especially when it forces you to waste cooldowns in order to make sure. Magneto, one of the best ways to stop crowd control in the game. Bubble yourself, crowd control doesn't hit you. Bubble your ally, crowd control doesn't hit you. The problem is there's so many different ways for somebody to stun lock you into the BS. You gotta waste your bubble for one thing, and you're getting smacked with 3 other different things immediately after that.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially for something like Scarlet Witch's bubble, which is probably the best example of like a heavy crowd control that hits you multiple times. Like if you're like dead center in her bubble, you will get stunned 3 times walking out of said bubble. They're gonna try to fix that. Dave, upside. I know how much you hate Mantis sleep and then Luna freeze right afterwards.
Yeah.
Cool, baby.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
But that's once again coming in the half season. Obviously, we're gonna have a podcast episode about that and talking about it and everything in that sense. Once we actually understand what they're planning on doing. But like I said, theoretically, they're gonna go the smite route, which is basically like, you know, hey, you're gonna have a mental timer that you can't see, but the game can see for you. That basically says, have you been stunned within the last 2 seconds? If the answer is yes, okay, cool. Trigger, you get stunned for less for this.
Do you qualify for federal stun aid?
Honestly. Moving on to the next topic, ranked. Ranked will get 1 more ban. Obviously bans happen after gold. So ranked is going to get 1 more ban. So now each team bans 3 characters. However, they are not taking out the double ban feature, which means if your team votes for Gambit and the opponent team votes for Gambit and you both ban Gambit, that is by design in the game. That's not coming out.
Was the double Gambit ban an issue before?
It
Yes.
is because of the factor that, like, you know, like your team is just like, hey, Gambit's a really fucking big problem. We should probably ban him. And the enemy team is just like, hey, yo, we should ban Gambit. Fuck Gambit. You both ban them. You basically technically wasted a ban with quotation marks because if one team had already banned them, it was already going to be gone from the game. And you guys could have banned someone else. Side note, which I actually didn't put in the patch notes, but the ban cycle is going to be faster. So right now I think it's like 15 seconds or whatever to pick bans.
Yeah,
now it's probably going to be like 10 seconds or whatever. Which honestly, I feel like it should have been that from the gate because it's like, hey, you're at gold, you should know what the fuck to ban. On the other hand, placement matches will focus more on how you're personally doing, not just how the team did.
Thank God.
Yeah, one of the main complaints when it comes to placement matches is the fact of like, hey, if I got a thrower on my team or whatever, I just lose that placement. Yes, I don't technically lose any points, but it looks bad on my overall ranking because I technically lost. Exactly. It looks bad on my permanent record, basically, and it kind of negatively affects me. They basically straight up just said, hey, and they haven't even mentioned, hey, if you have a lever or some absence or whatever, they mentioned the fact of like, hey, at the end of your 10 placements, the game at that point is then going to look back at all those 10 games and see how well did you personally do comparatively to the rest of your team, and then that will additionally affect your placement where you actually go.
Even regular comp already looks at personal achievement. So yes, why shouldn't placement matches do the same fucking thing?
That's what everyone else is saying online, and I agree with them. Because, yeah, if I'm, like, you know, MVP or SVP on a losing team, I shouldn't be placed in bronze because my team is just actual monkeys with a keyboard. Last topic, which is kind of the main topic. Final thoughts on the upcoming season. Like, you know, with all the stuff that we talked about today, with the new characters dropping, with the nerfs, the buffs.
I'm looking forward to the changes. I'm looking forward to the season. White Fox is gonna be fun as hell.
My new main.
Everything's going to be cool. Netmarble, stop rummaging my wallet. Nettie, stop rummaging my wallet.
Yeah, I didn't put it on the list because it just came out, and I don't feel like looking up the actual like images and stuff. But yo, the battle pass for this season is fire. The skins that are coming out this season are fire. I don't have that much money. Could you stop?
college university theming they're doing with these skins. Hey, NetEase, let go of my friggin' wallet, please.
I like everything that they dropped. I understand that some of the patch was not what I wanted it to be. I think definitely some people could have been nerfed a little bit harder. Some people shouldn't have been touched at all. Once again, I don't know why Emma was even in the discussion. I don't know why Hawkeye was even in the discussion. But for the most part, I'm super excited about a bunch of the crap that's dropping. The main thing I'm excited about is definitely the ultimate changes, because it means that, like, we get to fight more without the distractions of ultimates killing us or saving us,
Fighting? In my fighting game?
Exactly.
Not if I'm around to have it.
Like, we get to actually show the skills that we've accumulated over the past, year or so. Like, hey, I actually can keep someone alive without relying on my ultimate, Or vice versa, we can show, like, you get to show your teammates, hey, I'm actually kind of trash, because, no, I can't kill anyone as Spider-Man unless I use my ultimate. Well, guess what, buddy? We're going to see it now, Like,
You are on notice.
you're on notice. Like, we've mentioned beforehand in the podcast and just, with us or whatever, like, if you can't kill anyone unless you're using your ultimate, you're kind of shit. This season is going to prove it like a motherfucker of who
If
actually...
you're nothing without the suit, you don't deserve the suit.
Exactly. Like, this season is going to show how much people are fronting when it comes to, oh, my kills are this. It's going to put more precedence on, like, ult management and saying, should I use it now or should I wait and hold it, whatever. And ult track is going to be a pain in the ass, actually, now I think about it.
I'm excited for it. I can't wait for the new characters. It's going to be a good time. I really wanted to try out White Fox. Black Cat seems pretty cool also.
Well, Black Cat's down the line. We'll talk about her. We will be talking about her, I assure you. And I know you're also excited about the Blade changes, because I'm also excited to see you back on Blade.
100%.
That added anti-heal buff scares me.
Scares me too, bud. Scares me too. Like, I could already barely hear you guys when you were hit with it before. Now it's doubled. Like, 40% healing reduction is gross. But that's the end of the podcast for the most part. Definitely check down into the description, like I mentioned beforehand, about, like, the Twitch and the other mentioned crap that I don't remember right now because it's not actually going to matter. Once again, if you are watching on the day of release, which would be the 20th, then Brendan and all of us are actually streaming.
36 hours from now.
Yeah, so definitely pop in and say hi. I will probably be streaming the entire day just because new support who dis. But aside from that, laters, and we'll see you next time. Oh, stick around for the bloopers because there are going to be a ton of them.
Requested for you to give me access to to edit this because my God. I'm gonna tell you this right now. This one's for free. I'm gonna go for a walk is spelled Gonna. This is like the fifth time
Aaron,
I've seen you spell it.
jeez. Thought you could spell.
I've seen you spell it Gana for like 5 times now.
Well, yeah, it's just generally how I spell.
N-A?
And I'm
No,
going to.
fuck
I think
genuinely how you spell. That's not how the world is fucking spelled.
I'm going to, because I think it's going to be fun content. I'm going to rake you over the coals in the podcast. I'm telling you this.
About what? About the spelling?
Yes. And I
Okay.
think it'll be fun.
Just letting you know, I'm cooking you in front of your wife.
Put the plate
Fuck you,
down.
Brendan. I choose you.
Brendan, I choose you is crazy work.
Brendan, your thoughts on this? I fucking can't, dude. That's it. We're going back on hiatus. I'll see you in 2 months.
Damn.
Whoa.
I didn't get
To
the
be fair-
fingers. I didn't get the fingers removed. It's just there was a lot of drugs involved. Brendan,
gotta
thoughts
deal with
on Daredevil not killing everyone anymore? Theoretically. What type is Brendan though? Like, he's not like a fire type. What, are we thinking dragon?
He's a dark type.
I was just going to say that.
You.
I also want to throw you a shout out, Aaron.
Yeah.
That was one of the words I was going to fix. You fixed your own word. You figured out how to spell pierces.
I think you mean Google Docs figured out how to spell Pierce's. Now I just clicked the button.
Of course. Why would I give you the credit?
Dave, tell me about your favorite character.
Spider-Man?
No, Spider-Man's not on this patch. The other favorite character.
Punisher.
This is my fault. I set the bar too low.
It's one of those things where I don't know why we touched Emma. I don't think Emma really needed to be
Yeah.
touched. Did Emma consent to this? Did she pay you? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But he
Another one that they could do is just nerf Black Panther's fucking speed from running.
Hey, fuck you.
put Black Panther in the Adam Warlock chair that they took him out of.
Like I'm even gonna forego kebabbed. I'm gonna let that one sit because it's not an actual word, but it's fine.
It
It's
is.
fine. I'm actually kind of impressed. It's fine.
Is kebab not an actual word?
The past tense of kebab, because kebab is a noun. It is not a verb. There is no past tense of a noun.
I don't know.
Also, kebabbing is an active verb. Once again, a word that is not a verb.
Yeah, so like once you've kebabbed something, they're like, is it just kebab?
But there is no kebab is not a verb. Kebab is a noun. Oh, you did actually spell it wrong. It's Kebab. Just a smash cut of. All right. Well, what about no? Well, what about no? Well, what about no?
Dave, thoughts on this random chart that I know you haven't seen?
On this what?
This chart that I know you haven't seen?
Oh yeah, it's a great chart.
Fucking Spider-Man players. I swear to
Well,
God.
get ready to report me a whole bunch.
So, Dave, we're both in agreement that we have to throw in GG no heals at least once.
100%.
I'm
At
going
Every
to-
time I die, I'm
I'll
saying
be
that.
the healer saying GG no heals.
It be your own man's, I swear. Anyway,
Gooning with a weapon.
can I say shish kebabbing? Is that a word?
Skewering.
Just say skewer. He already
It
told you
just
the word
sounds
is skewer.
weird. I just like shish kebabbing. It's more fancy.
Skewer sounds weird. Shish kebab is so much harder to say.
Yeah, it's funny.
How about Pierce? How about that?
Yeah, she's not really piercing you. She's putting on her stick.
That's the definition of
That's
piercing.
piercing.
Piercing is like going through something.
Yes.
Oh my god.
How about shanking? How about just shanking? How
Aaron,
about that?
Aaron, you and I are gonna have a long talk where it's gonna involve the Merriam-Webster dictionary after this is done.